This is going to be a quick unboxing of the Kinetic Sand 10 pack of colors. I was not able to find an exact color list of all the colors, but I think it's pretty obvious, so I'm just going to go with what I know from researching it in general when I'm purchasing. I ordered it online and it came in this box with absolutely no packaging around it, interestingly enough. And I'd ordered it as a gift, but thankfully, I ordered it as a gift for myself, so there wasn't a huge disappointment. Okay. I really, really, really would not have liked to give that box in that order. I don't know what I would have done. These are all the colors that have come inside, and I already have purple, green, and pink myself from purchasing them separately. So I'm not going to open these containers. I will show the ones I already have in the exact same color that I've already opened. All right, I'm going to start with the red. And each one will come in that container with that stamp on the lid, so you get that Kinetic Sand insignia when you open it up. I don't really know how much I truly care about that when I want to play with it, but it is kind of a fun amusement. Okay, so here's the red. And this red to me is a soft toned red. It's got a very corally hue. I feel like maybe it's showing more pink on camera than it is in person. In person, it's that soft red with a coral, definitely a coral hue to it. It kind of reminds me of a snow cone color. I don't know what color they all are now, but I could swear I remember getting cherry snow cones when I was a kid that had this very shade to it, and it reminds me of that, which I really like. Move on to the purple. So I already have this open. I'm not going to open that. I'll find something else to do with that container. I'll show this purple, which also came inside of the same size, 4.5 ounces each. By the way, each of these colors. This one also came inside the same size castle container. And I keep it in an empty candle tin. I'd love to depot them all into candle tins, but I just haven't burned that many candles. So this is the purple shade. This is most definitely not going to pull super blue. This is the one that pulls red, and it is highly pigmented. A deep, beautiful purple. If anything, it has almost a dusty hue, but not in it being a light or soft color. Just that skosh of that dusty shade to it. It's not what I would call a neon by any means. It's softer, perhaps like what I was saying about the red. Okay, I'm going to move on to what I see referred to as, I've seen it described as brown and natural. I think natural is just a much better description here. This, to me, just looks like sand. This really does look like what I would expect of beach sand. I know there's a lot of variety in that, but this is a taupe. Yeah, this is a taupe. Most definitely it's got some grayish, olivey tones to the color. That's what I'm looking for a lot of times when I'm trying to shop these sands. I want to see the exact tones. So I'm going to try to describe what I'm seeing in those tones. And I noticed that all of these containers are pretty soft. I have had mixed experiences buying kinetic sand, which I'm sure I'll talk about later. Some of them have been more dense than others, and I don't know if that has to do with the dyes that they're using or what exactly is doing that. Next up is green, and again, that's one I already have in another candle tin. I look at this green and I think it's something like, this reminds me of being a kid in the 90s and having everything described as neon something. So this makes me think of something like a neon screaming apple green or something they would call it. It's definitely the green that pulls yellow. And I think the yellow is picking up even more so on the camera, but I actually think it's a very good representation of the color. This, I looked at this before and said this green has the heart of a neon, and I think that's what's going on. This is definitely that bright neon type color. That's all I can think about. It's reminding me of loud commercials for kids stuff during that time frame, which is kind of neat. The next one I'm going to open, this one I've been curious about for a long time. The beach sand one. See the difference? And there's clearly a difference between this one and the regular natural colored one. This has those tiny grains that you expect, and this most definitely is larger grains. I really like the sound that this makes. Okay, this is really interesting. Let me see if I can get the tearing. You can really see the threads in there of that, I believe it's dimethicone that's used to give it the kinetic quality. Because the particles are so big, it really stands out. Ugh, you can really see it stringing. But what I really want to get is that sound it makes. I think if you are an audio stimmer, this is going to be a great sound. So let me see if I can get some of that. The beach sand specifically makes the sound. I think that is just the greatest thing. I love how that sounds. That's so neat. So this color, this is very similar. It looks like this has a whole lot of color that's exactly like this one. And then there's a whole bunch of, it's reminding me of a chocolate chip cookie because there's a whole bunch of additional darker brown specks that you can clearly see in some places. And then a bunch of tiny little black specks in some areas. So this one is fun. This one I'm going to enjoy. This is very different than the others. Oh, and it feels different too. Let me see. What's the difference? I want to say this one feels gummier. It's not at all sticky. I don't mean that in a way, you're not going to get that sensation you get when you touch candy or syrup or something. The best thing I can think of is gummier. It'll be interesting to compare the blue with the teal one next. Okay. Okay, what type of blue is this? This is harder for me to describe. This is definitely not a royal blue. This is a very pigmented blue. And not a deep one, just the color is really intense. It's got an oceanic type blue to it. It's got that fresh blue water look to it. But I love how pigmented it is. I'm just staring at that. I'm getting lost in it, which isn't the point. I was very curious to see the white one because I was wondering how you color something like this white. Now, looking at the lid, that's definitely a true bright white color. I think it's showing up more of a bluish white, definitely on camera than it is in person. This is definitely a darker, dimmer white color. This is almost what I would call I might call this a soft, warm gray. And I don't think I would call it a neutral gray. I think this is pulling a touch warm. It does not really have any of that blue tone at all that I would expect inside of a gray. It's a really soft white. It's concrete. Very clean, fresh, new white concrete. I think I like this color. I enjoy collecting the colors in general, so I might just like the fact that it exists, frankly. Perhaps 'tis best not to listen to beyond that, but at the same time, I am picky about my colors. On to the yellow. Okay, this one I was curious about too. I looked at lots of videos and I couldn't tell if it was the lighting or not, so I'll say this right here. This is definitely a yellow that has a green tone in it. This does not pull banana. It does not pull soft butter. This pulls some kind of neon green. It's definitely yellow. It's just that when you look at it, you will not be thinking, boom, here's this mellow yellow. No, this is not mellow. This yellow is not mellow. I happen to like more warm banana-y yellows. So this is not my color, but if you like that greenish sort of lime influenced yellow, that's what this is right here. No mistaking it whatsoever once you open it up. That's 100% what this color is. Next up will be pink, and that's another one I already have open. This, I love colors like this. This is another deeply pigmented Kinetic sand color. I'm going to need to make a little bit more space in a minute, I can tell. I'm going to have, what's the next one? I'm going to have Teal Kinetic sand everywhere. This is a purplish, it's a blue, cool pink, definitely. Blue tone, just meaning cool, and if you look at it and peel tones apart like I do, you'll notice that strong, cool blue tone in it. There are no blue specks. It's just that it's got that purplish hue to it because it's very cool. And I think that's pretty much all I can really productively say on the subject. So I'm going to move on to the teal. Now this is very interesting. This teal, there's the lid. This 100% reminds me of the twinkly teal Kinetic sand that I have. I bought a 2-pound bag of twinkly teal, and I 100% want to show that comparison because I'm looking at this one and thinking about that one. As soon as I first opened the container, that's what popped into my head. This is a robust, deep sea green. Yeah, okay. It's got a deep sea, it's an aquatic green. That's what it is. It's the kind of teal that shows that green more than it shows the blue. If I can hold it somewhat equidistant between these two, you can see. I don't think it looks all the way like it's a shade of blue all by itself. I think it looks more like it's pulling toward this. This is a really pretty soft aquatic green. That is what you're going to get out of the 10-pack. And again, they are each in the 4.5 ounce sized castle container, so you get those peaks when you open it up in case you actually want to build a row of castles and play with it that way. I take the stuff out and instantly start squishing. That's just how I do. Alright, I'm pretty sure that's everything that needs to be said on the subject, so hope this helped in some way. That's about it. Bye now. Welcome to that moment when an autistic brain knows that it can take all of the extra and apply it to one minuscule, seemingly pointless task that I'm totally aware that I can do perfectly well. I'm not even going to do this perfectly at this point. I can see that owning so many of these colors, I could spend a huge amount of my life tweezing individual grains of sand out. And yes, I do have that compulsion. I am that girl. I am that person, my friend. We are all going to have to deal with it. It is my truth. I shall not hide it. That's right. I see more particles. I'm not going to get them all. It does not have to be perfect. That is my mantra. It's an extremely useful mantra for some of us, hon. I'm sure some people will know this already. Sometimes it actually works, too. Oh, Nice, that one was easy to pick up. See, that's that gumminess I was talking about. My bunny ears. Surprised how much I like that one. It's beige sand. Why is this exciting to me? That's when you know you've entered the fandom. Eek! It's falling. It's melting. It's melting. And the pièce de résistance. Final piece. Put away. Cutely. Bye now.